Good evening, Stitch Roadies. Yes, it is actually after 5 o'clock in the evening. I normally am a morning person, but today it's just been one of those days, and I wanted to meet up with you before my life got very busy over the next couple of days. It's an absolutely gorgeous day today, although there is anticipation of thunder and rain and snow in our forecast over the next few days. So it's spring. That's all you read about on social media. Is everybody is so over the weather. Yeah, whatever. Well, I thought we were just about done with our construction, but there was one part that didn't come. It wasn't appropriate. Like the tub turns on, but the shower doesn't. So the guys are coming back on Friday to do that, and then we are done. We are totally done as of Friday. It's been a journey, and one that I am so glad we took during the winter time, and especially this winter where it was really, there were so few days where you could really go out and enjoy yourself. You might as well be hanging around here. So, needless to say, we are glad we did it in the winter. We couldn't have picked a better crew. I already missed them. Although they're going to start working on my neighbor's house. It's just been a really pleasurable experience, very pleasurable experience. And so now the cleaning starts. Yeah, the cleaning starts. But I'm taking a break today. And I've been stitching. It's kind of interesting, though. I know that some of you, everybody has these terms like I'm a monogamous stitcher, or I'm not, I'm a process, there's all these labels we put on. And what I found out this last month was it was hard to pinpoint what I am. It was hard to pinpoint what I am. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. It is a channel that's about cross stitch, but at the same time, it's about everything else in my life. So I welcome you to hang out with me and hang out with all the rest of the crew here, because I have been blessed with such a great community, and I thank each and every one of you for that support and comments and thumbs up, and thank you so much. So back to what kind of stitcher I am. I think I am constantly evolving. I am definitely not monogamous, and I love the process. So I've heard that term, process stitcher. But I knew at the beginning of this year, just breathe. I knew that there were certain projects that I wanted to get done this year because they were for family. And so I became somewhat, it's like you get to choose what you want to be. And this year, I decided to be a somewhat committed stitcher. And that meant I chose specific projects to work on that I am like a dog with a bone. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not stitching other things, but in the evening, I am working my way across these specific charts I want to get done. I don't know if you call that compulsive or I'm an abrasive stitcher. I am embracing my projects. Yes, that must be it. I have been looking at all of my whips. You know, I started a dry erase board and I have all my whips on there. I have my finishes and my FFOs, and I'm really comfortable with that board. It's working out fantastic for me. When I look at, and even though I have a lot of whips, I also have a lot of starts, because there's nothing more enjoyable than a start. Yeah, it just feels like a celebration. It just feels like a celebration. And so I've had some starts. I've had some starts and some finishes and some FFOs. But I've learned some stuff. I'm sucking on a cough drop because when I talk I still kind of hack. Sorry about that. That was maybe too much information. But I am working on the Fat Quarter Shop Bountiful cross stitch. I am here to tell you I am not what I have discovered with this stitch, and I'm going to finish it, but I am not a 1/1 stitcher. And I decided to, for whatever reason, I think I was thinking about size and not what it meant commitment-wise, to stitch 1/1, a whole chart. Was I insane? I would say yes. I think I hear all of you say yes. So I am working on that, but it is not going according to schedule. From the point where I got COVID, and that whole recovery period, not a whole lot of concentration could happen. And what I found was that 1/1 takes a great deal of concentration, because if you're not concentrating, then you got the trucker mouth going on. So there you go. I am not keeping up to schedule, but I'm bound and determined to finish the project because I want to attach it to a Yazzie bag. What I have been working on is a new, during the day, when I decide to stitch, this is what I do. First thing in the morning, cup of coffee with G, stitching a little bit on the Prairie Schooler Santa 2022. And I'm making some progress on that, and I love that. But with the construction going on, I have not had a big amount of time in the morning because we know that the guys are coming and we have to get everything set up, cleared out of the way, door unlocked, be ready for the work day. So I haven't got a lot done on my Prairie Schooler Santa, but I have been doing a stitch here or there, and I'm feeling okay about it. The other project that I started was because of the beautiful, if you saw in a previous Flosstube, I received an absolutely gorgeous basket. It's a Longaberger basket. I hope I said that right. It looks like it might be for a picnic because it's got a plastic lining, a hard plastic lining on the inside, but it is so gorgeous that I decided that I'm turning it into my stitch basket. And with that, I decided that I'm going to stitch a cross stitch for the lid. And who knows, I might have, you know, a handful of different ones eventually, so I can swap it out. But the first one is this Brenda Gervais Home. And you just have to love this. Home is where our story begins. And that's absolutely the truth for G and I. So I've decided that that is going to be the first stitch that I finish, fully finish, to attach to the lid of my basket. And so here is where I am on that. And I don't think it's, I believe this is 36 count, but I don't think it's a very big stitch. But it is so dainty, absolutely so dainty. So I've been working on that. And once that's done, then I will like flat fold finish it, and then do some kind of temporary attachment to the lid of the basket. Very excited about that. The other stitch that I have been committed to, I'm a committed stitcher. I'm a committed friend, a committed wife. Yeah, is this. I got this from Evertote, Modern Folk Embroidery, and I'm doing it for my son. I don't know, when I saw it and I read the inside of the chart, dragons are most fascinating creatures. Their history goes back thousands of years and is heard in legends and tales of culture all over the world. You know, it's the phrase "here be dragon" is long associated with medieval map makers, and he's kind of interested in that. I think he is. So there we go. It is a labor-intensive stitch, and the only way I can do this without making mistakes is I do it by a 10-count grid. And so far, that process of stitching this has been perfect. I'm really pleased with this. I'm very, very pleased with this. And it's been a lot of fun. Yeah. But boy, is it a commitment. It's like a 3-month project. Okay, so let's get this all a little bit organized. Today, this is the funniest thing happened to me today. Today was Whip Wednesday. Whip Wednesday is at Acorns and Threads, and I had an absolutely lovely time. It was nothing but a good time. I laughed, and I talked, and I shopped. And the shop was bustling. I mean, there was a whole carload of girlfriends who came down from Washington to shop. You know, it just kind of gets you all excited. It gets you all excited. And there were a few things that I had ordered from market that hadn't come in, and so they came in, and yeah. So I have more haul. But today was just great. It was, you know, I was with two, at my table, I was with two very accomplished stitchers. Geez, you know, way accomplished stitchers, and it was fun to listen to them and pick their brains, you know, their choices, and just a whole bunch of good time laughing. I had a great time. So one of the things that I wanted to pick up is I had on market, I had purchased during market day the Superior Bees chart by Summerhouse Stitchworks, and that was this one here. When the fabric came in, Simply Sage, I was kind of shocked because the Simply Sage that came in, and you must know that every dye lot, when they're dyeing fabric, you're not going to get the same thing every time. And I'm not, you know, I'm not the creative type. I kind of want to do exactly what's the picture because that's what I fell in love with. Well, the Simply Sage fabric was a brighter green, like a green, like a spring green grass. And there was no way. I just know it looked too different from this. And so Janine helped me pick out a different fabric. And so I picked up the threads and the fabric. And I substituted one of the threads because they didn't have that particular thread, but she picked out something really nice for it. And this is the fabric. So I'm here to say that this this fabric is very close to this. And so I'm really happy with that. I'm very happy with that. And so there we go. And I'm finding that I like 40 count. I was afraid of 40 count. Well, I've stitched 40 count, but I didn't know I was supposed to be afraid of it. And then once I learned I was supposed to be afraid of it, then I was afraid of it. And then I started stitching a piece that, because it called for 40 count, I did 40 count, and I thought, wow, one thread, that feels really good. I'm a monogamous thread person. That's what I am. A kit I ordered came in, the kit part of it, so I was very excited about that. And this is the Dutch Tomato Pin Keep with thread, with thy needle and thread. So this was a market release that I fell in love with, and all the little kit came in. So got that all kitted up, acorns and threads, which was great. Which was really, really great. I was this last week I was watching some Flosstubes. I was tacking a binding down on a quilt, and while I was doing that, you know, it's pretty mindless work, I watched a couple Flosstubes. And it's so interesting that the two Flosstubes that I was watching were people that I met at my very first, I think it was like Fall Fling. It was my very, very first cross-stitch retreat. And I didn't stay at the hotel or where everybody else was staying. I'm not even sure there was a hotel at that time, because it was held, the actual retreat was held at, in Lake Oswego at a lawyer's office building someplace. Yeah, that's right. But we had, at that time, we had a condo in downtown Portland, so G would drive me out there and drop me off. I didn't really know anybody in the cross-stitching community. I had barely been introduced by Marion, the librarian, to the concept of Flosstubers. So it was all new to me. And here you go into this room, and this is what I can tell you, is if you have an opportunity to sign up for a stitching retreat in person, if you're able to do it, do it. Because it's a wonderful community for one thing, but there is a really, really wonderful thing that occurs in meeting and learning from other people. So But if you didn't know, I'm basically an introvert. And so the whole concept of going in that room with all these people literally that I did not know, you know, and a lot of them all knew each other. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but take the risk. Believe me, take the risk. So I'm sitting outside the room, getting up, you know, working myself up. Okay, I'm going to go in and I'm going to figure out where I'm going to sit. And up walks Christy, Java Girl Stitches, and her girlfriends, Anna and Denise. And we kind of connected right there because it's like, it was like a, oh, I know you. And, but we really didn't. But they were so gracious, and we went in together into the room, and we chose a table, and they welcomed me to sit down at the table. And at the table, there were other lovely people, and Megan and Pumpkin Hollow, Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. It was just, it was an icebreaker for me to be welcomed into that community. And I've always been grateful for that generosity of spirit, of stitching spirit. And so this week, making a long story short, this week the two Flosstubes that I was watching on one particular day was Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, and she does both cross stitch and quilting on hers. And she just does such beautiful work, but she's doing some kind of stitching with one of her friends in which they do, well, it's not this particular one, but they're doing a Hawk Run Hollow, the houses of Hawk Run Hollow. That's what they're doing. And she said, well, you know, you always got to have a Hawk Run Hollow going. And I remembered that right after that retreat, I actually kitted up a Hawk Run Hollow, and that was like 3 or 4 years, 3 years ago, maybe? It was a long time ago. Yeah, at least 3 or 4 years ago. And I've never started it. And since she said that everyone has to have a Hawk Run Hollow going, I decided to look at it. And I had found that, in fact, I had the whole thing kitted up. I had all the fabrics, all the floss and the fabric. And so when I looked at it, I thought, wow, this is actually going to be a very fun stitch because it's like individual, it's like the Halloween calendar that I'm doing. So it's like individual little finishes, if you know what I mean. I'm going to count each one as a finish. So what I'm doing is the shores of Hawk Run Hollow. And so I got this binder, and I put it all in there so that, you know, I could be very organized. And then also, when I'm stitching, I could use that tape that peels on and off. The fabric that I had chosen was this big old honkin' piece, and it's the exact fabric that was chosen for the bees, that Janine chose today for the bees. Lakeside Linen Tundra, 36 count. So I'm not sure when I'm going to start it. I'm thinking maybe my dad's birthday, which is in May. You know, we were ocean sailing, boating kind of family. But look at this thread. I mean, there's a ton of thread. It's all DMC. Got my Chris Yo bling, and I'm ready to go. So because of Olivia, it's her fault. if you can't blame things on friends, who can you blame it on? I am all ready to go when I decide to start that. Then the other start I'm going to have sooner than later, mostly very much sooner, is because Christy from Java Girl Stitches and her friends on her Flosstube said they want to get into a summer kind of stitch. And so they're going to be stitching fruit. I know, it sounds kind of funny, but I was like all about it. And their sal, they actually decided to have a sal, is called Fruit Salad Sal. And so I said, well, I got to join in on that. And I knew that there was this Primrose Cottage Stitches Fresh Lemonade little card chart. And so I'm going to make that little pillow. And I'm going to participate in the Fruit Salad Sal with Java Girl Stitches and her friends. So if you're interested in that, just pick a fruit. Just pick a fruit out. Let's see, where should I go next? Well, I can't help it. I have to just show you this Happy Meal. It's really amazing. Sandra sent this composition notebook, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I've never seen anything like this. And I think I'm going to turn it into like my gratitude journal. I used to do fairly regularly a gratitude journal, and I think I'm going to do that. It's so lovely. It's just so lovely. So let me show it to you. Have you ever seen anything that beautiful? I mean, it's just stunning. It's like I want to frame this, you know. And the card she sent was, I mean, that would be a gorgeous watercolor cross stitch. I'm telling you, the hummingbirds, sparrows. She said, you never know when you might have a profound thought or a grocery list. Oh man, does she know me. It's almost frightening. And then I also received the most amazing bundle. Let me find the note. Oh jeez. I swear, sometimes it's just like, you just wonder how, you just wonder what can you say? What can you say? Anyway, Cindy sent from Arizona, which this winter I was missing Arizona a lot. And I have high hopes of making a trip back there soon. But when I opened this, I was just amazed because it was filled with finished stitching. And it kind of took my breath away, but I have to show you this. I mean, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. That's looks like it's on a plastic canvas, or yeah, it looks like it's on a plastic canvas. Is that not gorgeous? And this one is on the perforated paper. But look at that beehive. Oh. And then here's all these little finished smalls. I've got my work cut out for me. This one has a little packet of charms, but home is where our story begins, which is that Brenda Gervais chart too. Be happy. Oh, and this year's color is blue. F is for friend. For a friend. From my heart to your hand. Isn't that beautiful? A token for my friend. And she included a little piece of backing puzzle fabric, and on top of that, a hands-on design store locator. And Acorns and Threads is right on the front page for hands-on designs. Thank you so much. It is amazing. It is amazing. I also picked up this little, let's show you this. It's just one of those cloths. I got it from Acorns and Threads, but it's so pretty. It's one of those microfiber cloths that you wipe your glasses off on. But really, don't you want to wipe your glasses off with a sampler? Prepare to meet thy God. Mary Carr worked this in the year of our Lord, 1840. Jeez. Yeah, so that, I thought I need to clean my glasses with something really cool. So are you still hanging in there with me? Because I have some fully finished stuff. Yeah. Well, I do believe that I'm not mistaken in that the Immortal chart was one of the hot sellers at market. And I fully finished mine. I did it in the called for colors, which are not my normal colors, but I had a really pretty piece of fabric. And today at Whip Wednesday, when I saw Janine's, who did it in entirely different colors, I was like, oh, I've got to do it again now. But I fully finished this with a piece of, it was just a piece of wood from the craft store. And so here it is. Isn't that sweet? I was really pleased. I'm really tickled with myself. And then the poo chart, I also finished with a piece of wood type. It had something else written on it. You know how they have decor items that say something on them? I covered that part up. And it's the Deja Poo. So what I did was I covered it. This was all opened. And then there's something else written underneath here. But I flat fold finished my cross stitch. I glued it onto over the top of whatever was written on there. Then I took a piece of poster board and I wrapped it with some fabric that I had that had script writing on it. And I mounted it on the back. Didn't it turn out great? So this one is for my older son and his wife for their bathroom. Now I got to stitch one for myself. But I like how it turned out, and I got that at the craft store. There's a little bit of glue that came down. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm reading The Diamond Eye, which is a true story that just kind of blows me away. You'll have to look it up and see if it's your cup of tea. And then I found this great book that was recommended to me about someone that I really knew nothing about, because, you know, a lot of women don't get a lot of credit for the things that they have done in history. And that's The Diamond Eye also. And in this particular book, it's Julia Morgan. Have you ever heard of Julia Morgan? I hadn't. And I love history. An intimate biography of the trailblazing architect. So I bought this book. And this is the woman who built Hearst Castle and many, many other famous buildings. And it's interesting to me because my father learned to build houses from a female contractor. She was the only one in our town. And sometimes when I'd stop by where they were building, you'd see Louise and my dad crawling around the rafters, building it, putting the trusses up, building, just the two of them. You know, they built a whole house. And he learned how to build from her. Yeah, so this book has many, many wonderful photographs and about her history. So if you're interested in that, it's a fabulous book. Okay, I think I probably have talked till I'm talked myself out, huh? Yeah. Well, I signed up for the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. Was so happy. This is the funny thing. Today, I was going to Whip Wednesday. And so I went down to my car. And mind you, I live on the other side of the river from Acorns and Threads. I have to cross a river to get there. I turned my car on. And I hooked up my phone to my car so I could listen to an audiobook. And the map came up on my car and told me I was 28 minutes from Acorns and Threads. Now, how did that know that I was going to Acorns and Threads? It's like, if I had an electric car, I probably could have just said, take me there, and it would know exactly how to get there. I couldn't stop laughing, but I was freaked out at the same time. Isn't that weird? How did it know I was going there? I don't think I said it out loud. Did it see me get into the car with my Acorns and Threads bag? I don't know. Yes. Well, I'll let you go. Just so you know, I still have not heard back from Elizabeth and Barbara, who won the Halloween boot kit and the Fat Quarter Stitch kit. So I'll give you till the next video. Otherwise, I will draw again on that one. And I've heard back from two people about buttons. So just so a heads up for you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Just hit that button to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. I'll even take a pat on the back, a wave down the road, a hello at Acorns and Threads. And we'll see you, hopefully at Stitch Summit. Even if you sign up now and it is full. Oh, mine was the first one that went through. Janine told me that. Of course, I was sitting there with my laptop open and counting down and refreshing. So yeah, there was no way I was going to miss that. But put yourself on the wait list if you really want to come, which I really think you should, because life happens. It's not till September, and a lot of things happen for people, and their schedules change, all kinds of stuff. So there's still a chance. Hope we see you. And thank you. Thank you for being a part of this community. I just love you guys.